Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is SAADAH and together with my partner NABILAH. So we will be exploring a topic that is becoming increasingly impossible to ignore in our modern society, which is the shifting trends of mental health and depression across different age groups. So if we look back, mental health was a conversation kept behind closed doors and it was a taboo subject. And as our slide notes, sadly, next slide, please. Okay, as our slide notes, sadly, it is still a topic that is frequently misunderstood or even dismissed in today's fast-paced world. But as we navigate the mid-2020s, we have reached a point where the data is simply too loud to ignore. And our message today really comes down to two main points, which is while we are seeing an alarming rise in depressive symptoms among teenagers, there's a silver lining. And adults are becoming significantly more proactive about seeking professional help, and we want to show you how the pressures of our modern world are leaving a visible, lasting mark on our collective well-beings. Next slide, please. Okay, so to give you a clear roadmap of our discussion today, we have broken our analysis into two key parts. And first, I will be walking you through a multiple line graph, as you can see on your left side. This visual tracks the emotional well-being of students over a 30-year span, which allows us to pinpoint exactly when the current mental health crisis began to pick up speed. And following that, NABILAH will take over to present a bar chart on your right side, and she will be comparing how mental health treatment rates have shifted between men and women from 2019 to 2021. And by looking at these two perspectives, youth symptom versus adult treatment, we hope to give you a complete picture of where we stand today. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, now let's dive into figure number 1. This is a multiple line graph based on the monitoring the future study. On the vertical y-axis, we are looking at the percentage of students who agree with specific depressive statements, while the horizontal x-axis track the timeline from 1991 all the way to the 2023. And the graph specifically track 3 heavy emotions, which is the feelings that I can't do anything right, and the sense that my life is not useful, and the loss of joy, or I do not enjoy life. And if you look at the first 20 years of this data from 1991 to 2011, the lines are remarkably stagnant. They are flat. And for 2 decades, adolescent mental health was relatively stable. However, if you look at the year 2012, you will notice a dramatic shift. This is our turning point, and from 2012 onwards, those lines don't just go up, they surge. And by the time we hit 2023, the numbers are honestly quite staggering. We aren't just talking about a small increase. Nearly half of the students, which is 49.5%, they now feel they can't do anything right. Similarly, nearly 49% say they no longer enjoy life. Okay, so you might wonder, why 2012? When we relate to this data to reality, it correlates almost perfectly with the rise of the smartphone and the total dominance of social media. It suggests that this isn't just a post-pandemic issue. The damage started much earlier, and it shows that our digital environment is fundamentally changing how young people perceive their own worth. And with that sobering trend in mind, I'll now pass the floor to NABILAH, who will explain how the adult population is navigating these same mental health challenges.
Thank you, SAADAH. Now, let's move on to our second chart. So, this bar chart shows the percentage of adult aged 18 to 44 in the United States who received mental health treatments within the past 12 months based on gender from 2019 to 2021. So, as you can see, the percentage for both men and women shows a steady increase over the 3 years. For men, the percentage rose from 13.1% in 2019 to 15.8% in 2020, and further increased to 17.8% in 2021. So for women, the numbers are constantly higher. It started at 23.8% in 2019 and increased to 26% in 2020 and reached to 28.6% in 2021. So from this data, we can observe two main trends. First, there is clearly upward trend in mental health treatment for both genders, indicating that more people are becoming aware of mental health issues and are willing to seek professional help. Second, women are constantly more likely than men to receive treatment, as shown by the higher percentage across all years. This trend may also be influenced by the COVID-19 pandemic, which increased stress and mental health challenges, leading more individuals to seek support. Overall, this chart highlights a positive shift towards mental health awareness, while also showing a noticeable difference between genders in help-seeking behavior. So, in conclusion, the data from both charts clearly shows that mental health has become an increasingly serious issue in today's society. The first chart highlights a sharp rise in depressive symptoms among adolescents since 2012, indicating that younger generations are facing growing emotional challenges. At the same time, the second chart shows a steady increase in adults seeking mental health treatment, so reflecting greater awareness and willingness to get professional help. This finding suggests that while mental health problems are becoming more prevalent, society is also slowly moving towards better recognition and response to these issues. However, differences in help-seeking behavior, especially between men and women, shows that there is still a need for more inclusive supports and awareness. Overall, it is crucial for us to continue to breaking the stigma surrounding mental health and ensure that support is accessible to everyone. Because in the end, mental health is not just a personal issue. It is a responsibility shared by all of us. So before we end this presentation, I would like to highlight that all the data used is obtained from reliable academic and official sources. With that, we all have come to the end of our presentation. Mental health is not just as important as physical health, and no one should have to struggle in silence. Thank you for your attention.
Wow. Okay, I'm going to give it a heart. Give it a party pop. Okay, good job, girls. I think we have among the best here for today. SAADAH, I think your language use is very good. It was very seamless the way you present the data. And I can see the importance of mental health being highlighted by AISHAH as well. Very active gestures being utilized, and you seem the enunciation and pronunciation are also very, very clear. So I really appreciate that. I hope you have recorded your session, okay, so that you can paste it and for other people to refer to your slide as well.